Yo, what up? It's Aaron Moses. Gang, man. This video was called They Gotta Like You, right? Going through life, moving through life. What I've understood more than I would like to have understood was that people actually have to like you. Yes, you could be manipulative. Yes, you could use the law of reciprocation. You could do a lot of things, but at the end of the day, of course, being likable is a skill, but it's a weapon, bro. You have to understand that people are not going to just do their job off of logic. People are not just going to be good people off of logic. People are not just going to help you elevate because you physically earn something. You have to emotionally earn a lot of the things and the opportunities that you get. I see a lot of people out here networking, being thirsty, being in survival mode, being in hustle mode, but they're not likable people. Now, at the end of the day, when you work certain jobs, now this is going to go in every direction, so follow me, be patient, right? A lot of being likable has to do with being patient, and I'm going to give you some good game. All right. So just understanding that you don't have any control over your environment. You don't have any control over people, right? At the end of the day, what you cannot control is the weather, how other people feel, right? Time, the elements. What you can control is how likable you are. How do you do that, Aaron Moses? Well, I'm glad you asked, my nigga, because I'm going to tell you, being authentic, not using your trauma, not using your need, your desperation, not putting yourself in a position where you look like somebody who's just trying to take. I see this with people, like I said, networking. Hey, I understand that, man. I love your music. But can I get an email? Can I, like, bro, you don't have any magnetism. You don't have any. A lot of people, they're really not shit. They really kind of don't have a lot of skills. They really, the only thing that's good about them is their personality. Not very smart, not very wise in a lot of different regards, but just having social skills, just doing something above and beyond. I'm not talking about being a kiss ass, but you do have to understand, just from a logical standpoint, right? We have something called biology. We have something that is called uh, 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 I forgot the name. I'm not gonna lie to you. I forgot the name. I'm kind of high. Edibles kicking in, but the basic function of a cell is to multiply. That's the basic function of a cell. There are a few ways to define a living organism. What do? They eat, they breathe, they create waste. And the fourth thing that defines a living organism is it has the ability to reproduce. Okay? With reproduction, we have the inclination to survive, self-preservation. And to be liked, what does that mean? That means if you like someone, that means you have something in common with them. To say, I like you, or I like something, that means I am like that something. I am like that person. I can identify with that person, place, or thing, that color. Why is your favorite color red, Aaron Moses? Because I identify with that. I see myself in the color red, and I see the color red instead of me. You know what I'm saying? So when people when people like you, right, they want to see you win because they see themselves in you. Pause, possibly. They see themselves in you. They see you in them. Again, pause. And they want to help you in a certain form of preserving their own well-being. They see your kids as their kids and vice versa. They see your wife as their wife and vice versa. When you win, it feels like they win. When they gave you some information and you turned around and you bought a Benz with that information, they feel like they bought a Benz with that information. So the more likable you are, bro, the more you're gonna go far, bro. Not to say you have to be not to say you have to be a kiss ass and you have to be fake and you have to go above and beyond. The number one key of being likable is being authentic. Of course, there are things like being in proximity with that person. There are things like the intensity of the emotions and the goals that you achieve with a person. There is having certain empathetic exchanges with a person. There is frequently seeing that person. At the end of the day, you could have all those things with somebody. You could have the proximity, the frequency. You could have the intensity of certain shared emotions and set goals with that person. And you could see that person frequently for a long time. That does not mean that that person is going to like you or love you, or if something bad happens to you, they're going to feel anything about it. They're going to show up at your funeral. They're going to even, oh yeah, Aaron couldn't come in because he was sick today. Oh, okay. That doesn't mean that they're going to actually ask if you're feeling good or not, or what happened, or if there's an emergency. No, some people do that because they're human. But I will share, when I worked at Burger King in Oklahoma, bro, that was some of the most eye-opening yet worst experiences on the job that I've ever had. I had a fine ass manager, the GM. Her name was Joanna. She had a nice booty, and she was just. Anyway, shout out to Joanna for being a nice booty having bitch. But at the end of the day, bro, she would always advise that I socialize. She would always try to stress that this is a family. She will always compare me to the other black guy named Nick. Shout out to Nick. He eventually became the manager at the Domino's across the street. Was it Domino's? It was Pizza Hut. It was whatever the case may be. I saw how she would look at Nick. I saw how she would compare us. And at some point, when I would just turn her off, when I would show her that I was not a likable person at the time, she began to try to make me uncomfortable. And sometimes I would think, but you didn't treat Nick like this. I show up every day on time. I do my job. It doesn't matter if you do your job, bro. People want to feel connected to you before they understand that you're a good worker or that you're a good friend. Like, you might be, I had a real good, I'm not going to say his name, but I had a real cool friend, bro. And I was doing the duties of a friend. But I wasn't being a very likable person. I was very combative in a passive aggressive way. I was always drunk. I was being a yes man. I was very needy and clingy. And I was very out of the loop. I was very not interested in actually being in the situation. For real, for real. You know what I mean? I was just very, like, distant, just there to be there because I needed some company, but I wasn't actually socializing with that guy. You know what I'm saying? His family. I was just there to be drunk and have somewhere to drink besides my house. You know what I'm saying? So that situation was very toxic. I wasn't likable. I'm still, like, bro, it's cool to be you, but you have to understand, bro, whether you're you can get a career right now. I'm a maintenance man. My supervisor doesn't like me. My managers nobody likes me, bro, because of what I choose to do personally. But that's not the way to go if you want to be an elected. It doesn't matter if you go blue collar or white collar, my nigga. you're going to have to you're going to have to be likable. If you keep on telling yourself nobody likes you, if you keep on telling yourself you're an introvert or you're antisocial and you don't trust people, no new friends, only the bros, bro, those are some toxic, that's the worst toxic affirmations that you could say. Besides the obvious, I want to do this to myself, or I wish I never lived, or I wish my mom would have swallowed me, which is weird, you thinking about your mom sucking dick, but we have to speak about that on another video. But I know you might think it's cool to be the lone wolf or you have some trauma undressed. Undressed. I'm thinking you got some trauma that you're not addressing. You got some trauma, bro, and it's okay, but it's not okay for you to not take responsibility and healing yourself. Sit down, bro. Turn off the phone. When you get off of work, more than likely you have a good at least 6 hours, 4 hours to yourself. Take one of those hours and sit in a dark room and ask yourself, why am I feeling this? Where does this come from? And then remind yourself that it's okay. That's what changed my life. Listening to affirmations every day. And if you want me to put together an affirmation list so you can heal yourself, I would be more than happy to do that. Because a good 10 days of that every morning, listening to a chant or some meditation music, and then listening to an affirmation or 2, 3 for at least 30 minutes instead of some music every day, I'm telling you, bro. Telling you. It'll change your life, bro. 110% recommended. Changed my life. It changed my eye contact, my walk. It changed how I respond to a lot of things in a lot of ways in a very short amount of time. But at the end of the day, bro, I get it. I get it more than you think I get it. I get it. I get the edge of not being liked because you don't have a lot of friends. And your friends, if you don't have friends, then your friends can't die. Or your friends can't go to prison and hurt your feelings. Because they could have asked you for that $200. They didn't have to steal. And now they're in prison for 10 years for some stupid stuff. Your friends can't text your girl on the low, or your friends can't steal all the roaches out your ashtray or do you dirty when they knew that you only had $10 to your name. People can't portray you if you don't have any friends, or whatever your anxiety or whatever your situation may be. But people are here to hurt you. People are here to hurt you. They're all gonna laugh at you. No, they're not all gonna laugh at you, bro. I just misspoke. I was just too much in my stuff. But bro, you gotta heal past that, man. It's okay. And even if take some acting classes, my nigga. Go to join an improv club. If you just feel like you're the lame and you got acne all on your face and you put your hands in your pocket with your thumb sticking out and you slump over and if you're just a weirdo, bro, at least pretend to be likable. At least be friendly. Ask some people how they're doing today and give them a compliment on their shoes. It's okay. Practice. They might not remember you, but they remember how you feel and how you made them feel. That's important, bro. Other people matter. You might be going through something, but giving people compliments and them appreciating that compliment when it's actually genuine and they genuinely appreciate that, that'll make your day better, bro. I know this happened. I know she cheated on you. I know you lost your wallet. I know your dog ran away. I know all of those things, okay? Just relax. You're not the only person on earth. It's gonna get better. Just be likable, bro. Be likable. There's a book that I read called The Like Switch. and I could put it. Well, if you DM me on Instagram, I could send you the book. It's not that hard, my nigga. You just because, bro. A lot of they don't people will hold you back in your job if they don't like you, my nigga. People are petty. People will only give you certain information or help you or tell you, hey, look up, there's a car coming, don't cross the street right now. Look up from your phone. They will watch you walk into the street while you're looking at your phone, texting somebody that you don't even like, and because they don't like you. And they will let you get hit by a car, and that's technically legal. So you need to realize people will tell you they don't care about your children. I don't care if you lose your job, loser, but I got kids. Bro, people don't. I'm telling you, you could go to the most important job that you are qualified to have in the most important position, and the person above you will look past a lot of things that you do because they like you. Not, bro, being a good worker, that's important. But people want people that make them feel good in every way. And you don't have to be a good worker if you're likable. Think about it like this. OnlyFans. I'm not saying every OnlyFans model person, female, is dumb or just. But let's say if they were dumb, there are billions of men in the world that like their bodies or their face or a combination of the two. Think about what being likable physically for a woman does in the world. You can do that same thing with your personality. As a man, you could be fat, you could be ugly, you could be dark, light, in the middle, you could be short, you could be tall, you could be shorter than short, you could be taller than tall, you could be regular. But the two things in life as a man that you cannot be is dumb and unlikable. You can be one or the other, but you have to be you have to 10x your likability if you're dumb as a man to be successful. And you have to 10x your smartness or your intellect. And you could be not likable and you'll make it. But how many people are really smarter than the average person? Not the average person. What, 20%? Maybe. And then 20% of those people are too smart for their own good and they're homeless or on drugs. Or they have all these kids and they can't do anything because they're so smart. They figured out how to have interactions with people. But listen, bro. You want to have both. If you're smart, you want to be authentically likable. And if you're likable, nigga, read some books. You want to be both. You want to have the emotional intelligence and you want to have the intellectual quotient. It's not cool to be a lone wolf, bro. It's not cool. And 9 times out of 10, if you're a lone wolf, you're not smart enough to be a lone wolf. You have all these ideas, but you don't socialize enough for people to actually hold you accountable and for you to even care about people enough to actually make this idea come to fruition. And you don't have connections, idiot. And if you're and if you're so smart, bro, you would not be a lone wolf, okay? And if you socialize a lot, but you say and people only want to be around you because you know a lot of connections and people are studying your personality, and they kind of think you're a clown, they kind of think you're an idiot, they kind of think you're dumb, but they think it's funny. Like, you got to get that in check too, because a lot of people don't know. They're really like, you gotta be both. You gotta be balanced. 20 minutes. It is what it is. It's not what it's not. It's Aaron Moses. I'm the band. You the band. We the band together. Man, life's in the bright, breathing in. Peace. Gang.